Then just keep your mouth shut.
Then just
That's
shut
probably
your fucking
better.
mouth.
Sandoval.
I was coming at that from what you two did to Ariana, it me up in more ways than one.
The first update we have today is about Scheana Shay's recent reflections. And in this video, we'll be talking about her surprising new insights from her book, My Good Side.
Yeah, she's really opened up, hasn't she? Especially about regrets around how she handled, the whole Tom Sandoval cheating scandal. She revealed in the book, apparently, that she was actually coping with infidelity in her own life when all that broke.
Right. Back in March 2023. And that context, well, it illuminates a lot about why she felt maybe she didn't give Ariana Madix quite as much grace as she perhaps could have. Especially, compared to how she was willing to forgive Brock Davies or even Sandoval himself. It's complex.
It really is. And she expresses this wish that she could have supported Ariana more, said she felt she had a job to do, but was also just drowning in her own heartbreak.
She flat out says she regrets not being the friend Ariana needed then, and that Ariana deserved more from me.
It's a tough situation. It really clarifies how hard it can be to show up for others when, you're barely keeping your own head above water.
For sure.
And the friendship with Ariana suffered. It grew distant. Scheana's pretty open about missing her, calls her my best friend, still hopes they can reconnect somehow.
It's a very human struggle, beyond the celebrity stuff.
And it's not just the recent past she's digging into. The book seems to go way back. She talks about that unconventional relationship.
Oh, right. The Throuple situation with John Mayer and Stacey Hall.
Yeah. And what's interesting there, she clarifies, okay, other women were sometimes involved, but she says she never felt that way about another woman except for one specific person back then, an unnamed person.
Okay, wow. And she gets into why that didn't happen.
She does. She admits she was just too afraid to explore something more serious with this woman because she feared rejection. And she even says, if she hadn't met Brock later on, maybe she and this woman would have connected more seriously. She uses the phrase, "I'll always wonder."
Huh. So all these threads, the Scandoval regrets, this past relationship, wondering, it feels like it's all leading somewhere for her.
It seems so. It all points towards her really trying to move past those, people-pleasing habits she talks about.
Right. She explains how she used to let other people's narratives define her. Her mom's rules, changing her look for school even, always being ready for Lisa Vanderpump's calls.
Exactly. It depicts this big shift, finding her own voice. She said writing the book helped her sift through this mess, trauma, and the joys of my life.
Yeah, to sort of take the narrative back, as she put it. Tell her own story, finally.
Which is a powerful thing. It clarifies how much we can be shaped by outside forces until we, consciously decide to write our own script.
So the book, My Good Side, is out July 22nd then.
That's right.
Okay, so these revelations, they really clarify how going through regret, exploring different kinds of love, figuring out your identity, it can all fuel this really powerful self-discovery.
Yeah, and give you the courage to, like you said, reclaim your own life story.
Word.
Don't tell me I want to say it. I'm going to crush your hand and solve it.
Okay, shifting gears now to something much more serious. Next update we have about a very concerning development involving Denise Richards and her now estranged husband, Aaron Phypers. This involves a resurfaced clip from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yeah, this is quite shocking. There's this season 10 clip going around again. It shows a really tense moment at Kyle Richards' house. Denise tells Aaron, "Baby, don't say a fucking word." And then he threatens her. He says he'll crush her fucking hand.
Just hearing that is chilling, and the timing of this resurfacing is critical, isn't it?
Extremely. It came out right as news broke that Denise got a temporary restraining order against Aaron just this past Wednesday.
And the details in her court filing are really disturbing. She alleged he threatened to kill her, that he hit her, leaving a bruise near her eye.
The documents go further, too. Accusations of being violently choked, slapped in her face and head, even having her head slammed into the bathroom towel rack.
It's awful. And there was that alleged threat about the police, too.
Right. That if she called them, he supposedly said, "I will blow everything up if they try it." It just illuminates the level of alleged volatility.
But Aaron has responded, correct?
Yes. He gave a statement to TMZ on July 17th. He denied everything completely, called the accusations false and deeply hurtful. He claimed he approached their relationship challenges with love, patience, and respect.
So you have these two just completely opposite accounts of what's been happening.
Exactly. It's a stark reminder of how complex these situations are, especially when they spill into the public domain like this. We have these two very conflicting narratives.
Next, we're going to talk about the latest from the world of reality TV, specifically Tamra Judge's recent comments about Gretchen Rossi's return to Real Housewives of Orange County, and also her advice to newcomer Katie Ginella. So, Tamra had some really strong thoughts on Gretchen coming back, saying she feels Gretchen just can't move forward, that she's stuck in the past, basically. And Tamra believes the show doesn't operate like it did, 15 years ago.
Right. Because of social media, the filming, everything's changed. And what's interesting is how Tamra talks about her own attempts to sort of reintroduce myself, as she put it, to move things on with Gretchen. But then she also flips it, saying she should be the one who's mad, considering Gretchen has apparently been talking about her relentlessly for, 12 years?
Wow, 12 years, yeah.
It really demonstrates that dynamic, that sort of strategic positioning veterans like Tamra use. It's about evolving your story on the show.
And Tamra wasn't holding back on the personal critiques either. She mentioned Gretchen's style, her hair.
Oh, yeah.
Describing them as really bad, kind of outdated.
Mm-hmm.
And she even suggested that being a mom hasn't really made Gretchen more mature. That's pretty harsh.
It is. And she brought up Alexis Bellino's comeback attempt, didn't she?
Yeah, basically implying Gretchen's might fizzle out the same way.
It really sets the scene for how these old feuds get reignited, but also how the players try to control the narrative, even down to criticizing style choices.
Next update we have about Tamra involves her conversation with Katie Ginella, specifically about talking to bloggers.
Right. Tamra was very direct with Katie here, told her it was not a good move, basically not smart, even though Katie tried the I'm new defense.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Exactly. And Tamra used Jennifer Aydin's situation as an example, didn't she, to sort of illustrate the potential fallout.
What was that situation again?
Well, the core issue was Jennifer allegedly leaking storyline details to an influencer. Tamra's point was, look, you do that, you risk everything, production trust, viewer experience.
Your spot on the show, maybe.
Potentially, yeah. It clarifies the unwritten rules. Narrative control is huge.
So it sounds like Katie really learned the hard way about dealing with, as Tamra called them, certain trolls among the bloggers.
Definitely seems that way. It's a tough lesson for someone new coming into that environment.
Okay, let's move on. Next update we have about Jax Taylor's unexpected exit from the Valley.
Oh, this one definitely caused a stir.
Yeah, apparently it blindsided pretty much everyone. Jax Taylor, he's 46 now, announced he's leaving the Valley after just 2 seasons.
And the cast didn't know?
Nope. Most of them apparently thought he'd be back for filming, which is supposed to start, end of the summer?
Right.
So you really have to wonder, what's the real story behind pulling out so suddenly?
Well, Jax's stated reasons are pretty compelling on their own, actually. He said he wants to focus on his sobriety, his mental health.
Okay.
And co-parenting his son, Cruz, who's 4, with Britton Cartwright, his estranged wife. She's 36.
Right.
So it frames the exit as this personal journey, self-improvement, which is often a smart narrative when you're under scrutiny.
Yeah, that framing makes sense, especially when you think about his behavior in season 2.
Exactly.
We saw the whole split with Brittany play out, him going into rehab for mental health and addiction.
Yeah.
And yeah, there were definitely moments described as abusive outbursts. It depicts a really tough time for him.
Which inevitably leads to the question, right? Was it really his decision to leave? Or was he maybe encouraged to step away by production, given everything that happened?
The classic jumped or pushed scenario.
Exactly. And it ties into those bigger conversations about accountability on reality TV. But, the general vibe seems to be supportive. Like, everyone wants him well in a better place.
Right. Supportive of his journey.
Yeah. Which suggests maybe the door isn't totally closed for a future return. These shows love a redemption arc, even after big mistakes.
True. They do leave that door open. Okay, shifting gears, next update we have about Porsha Williams and Simon Guobadia's ongoing legal battle.
Ah, yes. Atlanta drama.
So, first off, Porsha Williams' divorce from Simon Guobadia, it's finalized. Done.
Yeah.
And the prenup is being enforced. So that means Porsha gets, $40,000 a month in alimony for 15 months.
Wow.
She keeps the Rolls Royce he gave her, and she gets to stay in the marital home, but only temporarily until 2027.
Okay, so that part's settled. But the legal stuff isn't over, is it?
Not even close.
Yeah.
Because Simon is now suing Porsha for $500,000.
$500,000? Over what?
Over her past social media posts. He claims they implied he had erectile dysfunction.
Oh my goodness. Seriously?
Seriously. He's saying it cost him business opportunities, damaged his reputation, and caused emotional distress.
Wow. That clearly illustrates how social media comments even maybe vague ones, can have massive, costly legal consequences.
Right.
You don't always see it coming back like this.
Especially not for that amount. And Simon's lawsuit, filed in 2024, his lawyer is really doubling down. They're saying Porsha's posts were intentionally crafted to imply the condition and presented it like it was fact, basically to make him look bad and humiliate him. They seem pretty convinced it was deliberate.
Okay, but what's Porsha's side? What's her defense?
Her lawyer is arguing the posts weren't specifically about Simon at all. They're saying it was just general men's health awareness stuff.
The hashtag defense.
Kind of, yeah. But here's the kicker, the really intriguing part. Simon apparently intends to submit his actual medical records as evidence.
Whoa. Okay. He's really going all in.
Totally.
Yeah.
It takes this beyond just a standard defamation claim. He seems determined to, prove his point and reclaim his reputation on a really personal level.
That is something else. Okay.
Next update we have about the dramatic RHOC Hot Pot Luncheon featuring Gretchen Rossi's return.
Oh, the hot pot incident. Yes.
Right. It was supposed to be Katie Ginella extending an olive branch, but instead it just became this huge flashpoint. Old feuds, new feuds. And Tamra Judge apparently saw Katie as a silent assassin right from the start. Talk about setting the scene.
Yeah. And that label turned out to be pretty spot on, didn't it?
How so?
Well, first, Katie admits she called a blogger about Tamra. Then, Gina Kirschenheiter drops the bomb that Katie filmed Shannon Beador having that meltdown at the gallery show.
Oh, the one where Alexis Spallino was there?
That's the one. And apparently Katie shared the video with Alexis.
No. When Shannon was in the middle of litigation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just completely shattered Shannon's trust. Talk about weaponizing information. It really illustrates how strategic these reveals can be.
Unbelievable. And as if that wasn't enough drama for one lunch.
Here comes Gretchen.
Gretchen Rossi returns after 11 years, and she did not disappoint. Jumped right back into it with Tamra.
Oh, yeah.
Tamra apparently tried to lighten the mood, and Gretchen was just not having it. Her response was super pointed. Clearly no love lost there.
Well, their feud is it's a classic example of how these old conflicts never really die on reality TV.
Right.
They just become like a resource to mine for new seasons.
So true.
Gretchen brought up Tamra allegedly calling Slade a deadbeat dad, even after his son passed away from brain cancer.
Which is incredibly heavy.
And then Tamra hits back, claiming Gretchen contacted her daughter on social media. Gretchen says it was just a comment on a post, but...
Right, the details get messy, but the fight continues.
Exactly. Every season is just a new chance to rehash old wounds. Not really to resolve them, but, for screen time. It kind of illustrates that moving on might actually be bad for your career in this world.
And Gretchen really hammered home her point about Tamra, right? Calling her a master manipulator, saying she always blames others. She said she just wants Tamra to recognize what she has actually done to harm people. It sounds like a genuine plea for accountability.
And the timing of reveals, like Tamra suddenly remembering what Katie did to Shannon, it all feels very calculated for maximum drama, not real resolution. The conflict is the content.
Next update we have about Emily Simpson's heartfelt update on her son Luke's health.
Yes, this was a really touching update from Emily on RHOC.
She shared that her son Luke is doing much better, which is great news, especially compared to when they were filming season 19. Sharing that vulnerability as a parent in the public eye must be tough.
Oh, absolutely. And she clarified his diagnosis, too. It's ARFID, avoidant restrictive food intake disorder.
Right.
And he also deals with other things like ADHD, OCD, and pretty severe separation anxiety, especially around Emily. The most challenging part, she shared, is that he only eats maybe 3 or 4 different foods right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Emily depicts her own journey with it so well, realizing that pushing Luke to eat more just wasn't working.
Patience and adaptation.
Yeah. Their approach now is making sure his safe foods are always around and then just gently introducing new things. It sounds like she's showing incredible patience and empathy. How significant is it when a reality star shares this kind of personal struggle?
It's incredibly impactful. And her efforts to look into a possible link to autism, even though there's no diagnosis yet, that just shows her dedication to finding answers for Luke.
Right.
But the bigger impact really is how her openness has helped other parents. She's talked about how sharing Luke's story has helped people recognize similar things in their own kids. It gives them a starting point,
It's amazing.
Yeah. In a world that's often so curated, that kind of raw vulnerability, it can be really empowering. It starts important conversations about things people don't always see or understand.
And her advice is so important too. If something seems off or doesn't feel right, find a good therapist and talk to them. Just trusting your gut as a parent.
Absolutely.
Lisa Hochstein, she recently weighed in on Lenny Hochstein's new girlfriend. She's 25, Elena Kovalenko.
Mm.
And Lisa's take was, well, pretty direct. She flat out said, anything's better than the last.
Oof. Yeah, that's a clear shot at Katharina Nolick, Lenny's ex-fiancée. She's 29, right?
Exactly. It really illuminates where Lisa's head is at right now.
Well, we've seen this kind of significant reconciliation between Lisa and Lenny's mother, Marina Hochstein.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Marina actually showed up at the RHOM Season 7 premiere party. She was there with Lisa and Lisa's daughter.
Wow. That's huge, considering their history. Marina was like a second mom to Lisa, wasn't she?
Exactly. So that reunion feels particularly poignant. It kind of suggests that maybe, even amidst all the public drama, some personal relationships can find a way to heal.
Or maybe find common ground against a common other.
Perhaps.
And speaking of personal stuff under the microscope, Lisa also talked about those labels, narcissist and victim that get thrown around.
Right?
She really pushed back hard on the narcissist thing, asked, who are they to diagnose somebody with narcissism?
Mm-hmm. A fair question, really.
But interestingly, she did sort of lean into feeling like a victim, given everything she says she's been through for 3 years. How do you see those labels working in reality TV?
Oh, they're huge. Lisa pushing back on narcissist while embracing victim kind of shows you how these labels become strategic, right? They're not just descriptions.
What do you mean strategic?
Well, the cast members themselves learn how to use them or reject them to shape their own narrative. It becomes this whole metagame of managing perception. It's almost as important as the actual drama sometimes.
That makes sense.
And remember, she also, kind of funny, admitted she's always late. Said it's because she's managing so many people with split well.
And then, of course, there's the never-ending drama between Lisa and Larsa Pippen.
Always.
This latest round involved an Instagram fight, and Lisa gave this really vivid account of a blow-up at Jody Glidden's birthday party.
Oh, yeah. What'd she say?
She quoted Larsa, saying, she said he was cheap. She called me a britch. She said I should suck his thing. She said a lot of crazy things, and I'm like, you know what? Get out.
Wow. Okay, so things definitely escalated.
Sounds like it's 0 to 100 fast.